Welcome back. Well, her death launched an NBC6 investigation that uncovered women dying after a popular plastic surgery procedure. And tonight, for the first time, the family of Heather Meadows is talking about their loss and the changes made to how the surgery is done because of our investigation.
NBC6 investigator Miriam Masihi traveled to West Virginia to talk to the family and brings us their first television interview.
Heather Meadows came to South Florida to get what's known as a Brazilian butt lift, which is when fat is removed from an undesired area and injected into the butt. Our investigation that followed her death uncovered more than a dozen women who have died, and that prompted changes.
I was going to die.
Reggie and Tammy Meadows are like many grandparents, playful and loving. The one difference is they're raising Malaya and Malachi since their mom, Heather Meadows, died.
Sorry.
More than 3 years after her death, it's still difficult for Heather's dad, Reggie, to talk about life without her.
It hurts me, but I know how it hurts them kids.
That was it. That was her last picture.
The 29-year-old West Virginia mother died May 12, 2016, following a Brazilian butt lift, or BBL. You know why she picked Miami?
When you think of Miami, you think of, the sun and the beach and glamour.
Her sister says Heather did research before picking a clinic for the procedure. Leah remembers Heather saying goodbye to her kids before they drove to the airport. Do you think she ever thought for a moment that that was her last goodbye?
No, absolutely not.
In Miami, Heather met up with her friend Amanda Rogers, who was getting the same procedure done by the same doctor, James McAdoo.
No, go away.
Back at home, her family waited for word the surgery went well, but that's not the call they received.
It was a female on the other end. She said, "You need to get here." She said, "Your sister's on life support."
Heather died at a nearby hospital. Her autopsy shows she died of a fat emboli when the fat being injected back in her got into her bloodstream, causing her to stop breathing. Heather's death was the first of more than a dozen we found. All had Brazilian butt lifts at different clinics and different doctors. The health department has filed a medical malpractice complaint against Dr. McAdoo. The Board of Medicine could revoke or suspend his license. Dr. McAdoo didn't respond to our request for comment, but while his case is heard, he's allowed to keep doing plastic surgeries.
They do something wrong, put them on the shelf for 6 months or something. I mean, penalize them somehow. Just don't slap them on the wrist and say, "Here, go on back and do it to somebody else."
Since our investigation began, state lawmakers passed a law allowing the health department to immediately suspend a doctor's license in the case of serious injury or death. The Board of Medicine also began prohibiting doctors from inserting fat too deeply into a patient's backside to avoid blood vessels, a way to make these surgeries safer.
Her death won't be so much in vain if she can help, other women.
While pleased that there have been some changes, Heather's family believes there's more that can be done.
They took away a daughter, a sister, a mother, a friend.
Welcome, my baby.
When Heather died, Malaya was just 3 months old. Malachi was 6 years old. Reggie remembers having to tell his grandson his mom was gone.
All you could do is sit down and cry with him. That's all I could do.
When I talk to my mom and dad, I try to be strong for them because I can't imagine. It's sad that I lost a sister, but at the end of the day, they lost a child. Her children, they've lost their mommy.
And Heather had her procedure done at Encore, a Hialeah surgery center that's gone through several name and ownership changes and is now closed. Miriam Masihi, NBC6 News.